It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Justin Ellis here, CompLegends.com, and we've got another Legends Masters Comp workout 21.3 to go over with you today, and strategies. We've got some video that we're going to throw in there of some folks that have already posted about this one, given that it's been about a week and a half or so, and we're going to get into it. So, with no further ado, let's take a look at it. It is 21.3, 10 burpee box jump overs, 10 overhead squats, 20 burpee box jump overs, 20 front squats, 30 burpee box jump overs, 30 back squats, 20 burpee box jump overs, 20 front squats, 10 burpees, 10 overhead squats. Right out the gate, without looking at numbers, without really diving into what it's going to take to get under this 15-minute time cap. I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be legs, you know, and I've reviewed some of this video. We're going to kind of also live react to it a little bit too. And core, legs and core, with the overhead position of that barbell, with the front loaded position of the barbell. And then, of course, you know, even the burpees, you know, kind of the natural burpee gets the time, you know, with the amount of volume, those quads up in those hip flexors will hit that core as well. So towards the end, the back half of this workout, I think that core is going to get really tested. So looking at a couple of the pieces here for the age groups, 35 to 39 all the way up to 45 to 49 is going to have the same weight of 135.95. The box jump overs are burpee box jump overs are for 24 inches for the guys, 20 inches for the ladies. That doesn't change. You do have to be facing the box. We'll see that in some of those videos. The weight does change. They're at 50 at 115.85. 55 drops to 95.65. 60 that's 64, 85, 55, and 65 plus is going to be 75, 45. The weights in the strategies are going to play about the same across the board. You know, maybe that 50 to 54 group is going to reap a little bit of a benefit to that 115.85, but you know, of course, you're competing with your age group either way. It doesn't really matter. So I think strategies are going to be very similar here. So, like I said, I think without diving into the numbers, we're looking at a very like leg heavy, core heavy. So 15-minute time caps. So that's the big number to think about while we're looking at this workout. I broke down some numbers here. I'm going to throw them up here on to the screen that we're looking at right here. So I believe there's going to be some times in around the 12-minute mark, maybe even a little bit under the 12-minute mark, but this is how it would have to happen to get that done, okay? 10 burpee box jump overs, you're going to be finishing that around 30 seconds. So a lot of times I like to look at movements and reps as 3 seconds per rep. Now you'll know as an athlete, is this obtainable? Is this also something that can be held consistent? And so you have to kind of pair up, is this more 4 seconds or 5 seconds a rep? And that's, you know, in 10 burpee box jump overs, this is a grunt style workout across the board. I mean, even with that core and those legs going to be burning up, overall, it's going to be a pain tolerance situation. So anytime that kind of comes across with the workout, especially in burpees, I'm not really trying to fly through these. I mean, even if this is like where I'm really good at, you know, the barbell is like a second tier for me, and I'm light body weight and I can move quickly, I still am not trying to shoot the full load here in the burpees, okay? So if I can get through those first 10 in about 30 seconds, give or take a little bit of time, the overhead squats in this workout, I believe, are going to be unbroken in the front and the back. The volume's low enough, and do you want to snatch that barbell up again? No. If you need to clean it, jerk it, put it overhead on the back rack position, then get it into a nice position overhead, do so, but try not to put this barbell down. Lock in those shoulders. That's going to take a little bit of work off the core, If you lose those shoulders, you're going to really ask a lot of your core, which is going to get taxed later on in this workout. You go back to 20 burpees, and the heart rate is going to be up. What you have to do in these 20 burpees is manage that heart rate. And even, I'm not saying to take any breaks here, but in passing, there might be some slow parts to this movement, and you'll see in these videos what I'm talking about. The front squats. Okay, let's say and look, for me, barbell is going to be where I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable than in, say, the burpees. So by saying this, don't be afraid to break this up into 2 sets, any one of these barbells other than the overhead squats. The 20 front squats, I know it's very doable to do 20 front squats unbroken at 135. Not to say it won't burn a little bit at the end, but if you go in there with a concept of breaking this up, I think you have a mental kind of edge there. I feel strong with that movement, but if I know I'm going 11 on that first set and then coming back with a short break of 9, I'm again trying to manage that heart rate because I'm about to go into 30 burpees over the bar. This is a big set. It's one time. Don't let it conquer you mentally. All I need to do is see movement here, and I'll show you why in these videos here shortly, where some people just stayed consistent and it really did pay off towards the end of this workout. 30 back squats. I think, again, you're going to be really wanting to tie. It's one time at the back squats. You're not going to have to repeat it like the other movements. But is it worth getting 10 to 15% of that heart rate up higher going into the downfall of this workout? I don't think it can be done more than 2 sets, but a 16-14 here may, if you don't struggle getting into that position, may pay off. Very short break, but enough to let everything just kind of chill out. Maybe a sip of water. We're talking about 10, 12 seconds here, because you can move back squats pretty quick reps here. If, again, we're talking about 3 seconds per rep, you can make up some of that rest time in the movement itself. Then we go back the other way, and the game plan is going to completely change. So these numbers right here, are at a very, very maintenance fast pace. Like, you can't fall off. There's not a lot of rest time. Right there in the burpees, I put 1:15 for the 20. Even that first set, that's going to be really difficult to do. Are there going to be some people to maintain that? Absolutely. And do I need to shoot for a nice high goal? Let's do it. Why not? So if you see there the 20 front squats, I'm getting in about a minute. That I think is very doable, even with a break. 11:9 with a short break, still very doable and under a minute. So you might be able, maybe you didn't do the burpees in that 1:15, but you might be able to get some of that time back in the front squats. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's possible for sure. The back squats, I put 2 minutes there for 30 reps. 2 sets, 16 and 14 or 15, 15, something like that, especially even going unbroken. Again, this is maybe an opportunity to get some of that time back on some of these burpee sets that we're going to try to maintain, such as 30 burpees. I skipped over that with the 2 minutes, but that is going to be difficult. You're talking about 15 a minute. I know if it's the beginning of a workout or something like that, very doable, but we're talking about the middle of this monster here. That is going to be hard to do. I still want to put that on the board as something I'm going to try to go after, but keep in mind, we may be able to make some of that time up somewhere else. So I'm going to skip back forward to the 20. I gave 2 minutes here just as I did those 30 because I know fatigue is starting to set in, and you just did a big set of back squats. So I think this is going to start to settle in 2 minutes. But again, seeing that this gets you to 11:45, under 12 minutes, around 12 minutes, I don't think anybody's unhappy about seeing some of this time start to slow down a little bit. The front squats that we posted, about a minute in the front end, I put about 1:15. This could drop significantly here. And again, love to do 2 sets of maybe at 11:9. As long as we're moving, those reps are going to be around that 3 second mark, if not faster, but we've got to pick up the barbell. The 10 burpees over the bar, box, a minute here it has to be doable. It could be even done quicker. I got a video of somebody that moved pretty quick here, right around the minute. And those last 10 overhead squats, no matter what, you're not putting it down. 30 seconds is still very manageable at the end. And all these numbers give us 11:45. I think that would be a terrific score, one that anybody would take. But let's take a look at some of the options here that we saw in the workouts. And I'm going to start off with this first clip here. This is Jody Bullard. I didn't catch the age group here, but I'm gonna say he's 45, 50 plus. I can't really even tell what the weight is on the barbell, but let's kind of dive into it a little bit. And I just want to look at some of this from kind of a coach's standpoint in what I'm seeing. And this is early on. If you see the clock there at the top left, we're 15 seconds into his workout, and I like the pace. This is the first set of 10. And so let's see if we hit this 30-second mark with these burpees over the box. He does have a very mechanical pace. He's jumping very, very well. I'm assuming that was 9. Let's see. This is 10 here. You know, he does have, oh, that was, okay, so we got one more. So it looks like he's going to go about 45 seconds there. Yeah, about 45 seconds. And I will say, and I'll ruin the surprise, he does finish the workout at the end right under the 15-minute time cap. So 45 seconds on the first set of 10 burpees didn't keep him from finishing the workout. I will say he might get hit on those last 10 overhead squats of not getting reps. I know he has a judge. Heat of the moment. He might not have been in the best position to see this, and I love the effort. I'm not calling this guy out, but I could see him getting deducted some points or not passing those last 10 overhead squats. Really put an effort in to finish it, though. So he's at a minute 22. Going into the next burpee box jump over. So I'd put about a minute. He's only 20 something seconds off of the time frame, and keep in mind my time frame is for an under 12-minute time frame. So as where we can lose some time, we could gain some time. So what I say, a minute 22 he started the 20 burpees. I was saying about a minute 15. We'll see what this amounts to here for him. That would put him about 330, 337 or so. No, 237, sorry. And so he's a handful of burpees in right now at 205. I will say this, it looks kind of slow, but we'll look at some other videos, and I like this guy's pace. I don't think he's as maybe technical on. I think the squats hurt him a little bit in this workout. I don't know if that was his probably strong suit or not. And he's probably a good cardio guy and kind of can get after some grunt workouts, but I do like his mechanical movement here where he gets into the same position every time with the burpees. We never see any sort of long rest. He gets on and off the box pretty well. He's jumping very well, but I think what kept him from doing more like a 13 or 14 minute may have been the barbell just a little bit, because he did struggle a little bit in some of the depth here and there. So I said 237 would have put him at that minute 15 mark. We're at about a minute 40, about minute 50 now for this 20 burpees. So if he could get in 2 minutes, I think we're still doing pretty good. Look, these burpees, let's just say, and there he goes at 320. I think these burpees, if you could get them about 10 per minute consistently across this workout, I think that's going to work pretty well for you if you stay. Now, that was a really good front squat there, clean to the front squat. And he goes unbroken, and that's where I started to think maybe the strategy here is to break some of these up, because we're going to kind of fast forward just a little bit here. I don't want to have to watch the whole video, but let's see what it looks like when he ends these and goes into his first set of burpees here. So a little skip forward here, and this was 20 front squats. He goes completely unbroken. Not a lot of time wasted to get back to the barbell. 430. He's finished his front squats. I put 315. Honestly, his pace is still pretty good. And this is early on in the workout, so the volume hasn't quite got there yet. But overall, almost got one there. I like his pace on the overall on the now let's take a look. I've got a female athlete here. I want to take a look at Megan Road. I might be saying that right or wrong, but again, we're going to dive into this one pretty quickly here. Here we go. They're setting up here. So, okay, so she's in her first set of burpees as well. And I felt like she had a really good consistent burpee. What I noticed in a lot of these videos are people getting to the 20 front squats and getting capped at around the 20 front squats, or maybe a couple burpees into the 10 right there at that 15-minute mark. So that is something to be wary of. Now, I will say, watching this video for most of it, I think she's a really good athlete. I think maybe she didn't have the full plan. Look at the overhead squats right here. Really good position. Really tight overhead position. No struggles. I mean, she flows through these overhead squats, and she's on a really good pace here. You know, again, what she picked up about a minute. So this 10 is going to go well under the 130 mark. So again, the overhead squats should be about 30 seconds, well under that. But I think what happened is she gets through this 20 and she gets back to the front squats, and she does break up the barbell, the front squats. But I noticed audibly in the video, she made a couple gasps, a couple kind of, oh no, what did I get myself into? So I don't know what her game plan was, and I think it felt a little different than what she was expecting. And those breaks on the barbell were unplanned. I think she wanted to go because she looks very strong on her movement. I think those were unplanned breaks on the front squats. Let's get towards the end of this workout here, and let's see if we can pick up. So she's on the back squats. Is that the finish of the back squats at 11:22? You know, now you say you're over halfway at that point, but she's only got, 3.5 minutes, and you can see the burpees, the pace. She's lost the pace. She had to take a nice little big break there, which is probably okay when you're coming off a movement, but she's lost it in some of the other. And I watched some of the other video. She definitely had some breaks on her burpees. It looks like she's a little bit taller athlete, stronger athlete. So yeah, and here comes a break. Still just getting that oxygen, and this is where, obviously having to take a break like this keeps you from finishing this workout for sure. But overall, I think, she still comes back from that and gets through, I believe, the 20 front squats. So good comeback there for Megan Road. One other video that I want to take a look at here. I do have the age group here of 35 to 39. And what I found was interesting. Now, he does a very good job here. And I want to say he finishes about 14:28 or something like that. So we're going to pick up here 11 minutes into the workout. What I noticed about him, he kept a pretty steady burpee cadence, and I don't see anyone sprinting these. He catches in a nice low squat, so he's getting off the box really quickly. He looks like he moved the barbell, and I mean that by he moved the barbell really well. A stronger athlete at this 35 to 39 age group, and let's see where he's picking up at 11:23. I would believe this is the front squats. If this is front squats, he's on a pretty good, so he's doing his back half 20 front squats, and at 11:30, I think you're in a really good position there to do what he did. What I noted later on, he gets to the 10 burpees at 12:55, and he finishes at 13:50. He gets to the last 10 burpees under a minute. So that was key to getting back to that barbell. So let's see, does he go unbroken on these 20 here? No. So he goes on a split. I'm not sure if it's 10 or maybe a couple reps more. We can fast forward just a little bit. But you can see there he's taking a seat and resting those legs up a little bit. But like I said, the core here is going to get taxed pretty heavily. We know how that front-loaded barbell feels. It is pulling on you, and if you take your mind off of that position, that front rack position, keeping those elbows up, you're going to have to work your core more, and that core is going to be involved, well, in pretty much everything in the sport of fitness, but in this workout specifically, because guess what you got to do to dot the I in this workout? You got to have the overhead squat. Now, he starts this last burpees, like I said, at 12:54. He'll be done at 13:50. And I just want to look at these last overhead squats, how he presented and how he paced that out. So there we go. We see that 13:50 or so. He does take a little bit of break. He knows he's going to get under the 15. But we've got to pick up this barbell as quickly as possible. Every second counts, but he is fairly wasted at this point, which I know if I get the chance and opportunity to even get to this last 10, I will be in a whole different state. Little rocky on that first one, like expected. The core is taxed. You see his shoulder position is not the tightest. I would like to actually go back to see what his first 10 look like. We'll do that here right after that. His knees are buckling just a little bit, in to out. But he, of course, holds on to it for the 10. We'll see what that time was for Mike Petruso. 14:40 or so. Curious to see what those first 10 look like. Let's see here. Oh, that clock looks so much bigger being up close. I thought that was a full-size clock. That was not. That was actually a tiny clock. Now that it's next to this man in the screen. Okay, so we see the first 10 burpees compared to those last 10. A lot of spring there. Of course, the shirt's on. That's always a sign of freshness. But I don't know. I mean, there you go. He goes to the step pretty early on, about 5 in. I might have missed it at 4, but I felt like he was springing into a couple of those. But now he moved to the step, which is probably the smart thing to do. I want a cadence on these burpees. 30 seconds. So I'm probably a little off. These are pretty quick burpees. I would say he's got a little spring in his step. I'm going to 3 seconds a rep on the jump. That's off a little bit. He goes straight into it under about 40 seconds. So I would say 45. Ooh, he misses the first one. So he does have some difficulty in that overhead position. And you can kind of see it on that right shoulder there. He's a strong athlete. He's making up for it there with a lot of other muscles in that upper body region, but a lot of it is his core's having to work extra here because of the position of his shoulders. Knocks through the first 10, no issues, but we saw it in that last 10 that he still went unbroken. I mean, he's got the mental fortitude, so I'm curious what he can snatch. I mean, he's a good athlete. This guy's like I said, if I even had the opportunity to finish this workout, and I'm in his age division, so kudos to Mike Petruso. I'm terrible with names. Anyway, wrapping up what we thought about 21.3. Anytime you see a time cap on these workouts, man, you always want to try to finish them, right? You want to be under the time cap of 15 minutes. So with these numbers that I posted, first at the 11:45, is there somebody going to do that? Probably. For those that are trying to qualify and be consistently in that top 10, 15%, you don't have to be there, right? I think this guy right there is a perfect show of what it'll take to get into a qualifying position to move forward. We're going to see a lot of folks get into those 20 front squats and some of those 10 burpees at the end. And I think that's still, if you've got some wheelhouse workouts, I think that's doing some managing overall. But obviously the game plan here is to get under the 15. I think the burpees are going to be a little closer to that per 10. Like I said, I think overall, if you can average just under the minute through the whole workout, 10 burpees per just under the minute, I think you're going to be okay. You got 10 for that. The first one would be a minute. You got 2, 3, 5, and 6. So 6 minutes spent on burpees if you keep that just around the 10 per minute. That gives you 9 minutes involving everything else. And the overhead squats, I think, you got your 10 and 10 there. That is a minute there. So you got 7 minutes. You got 7 minutes to do 40 front squats and 30 back squats. 7 minutes to do 40 and 30, 70 reps. That gives you 10 per minute as well, and you're under that 15. Kind of a weird way to look at it, but I think it's doable. I think it's doable, guys, on this 21.3. That's going to wrap it up for this episode from CompLegends. I'm Justin Ellis. Check us out on CompLegends.com. We've got a weekly challenge every week, so if you've got your feel of Legends Masters Comp, hop over to the website, see what we've got posted, and you can always log those scores in. All right, we're going to have 21.4 up soon enough, and good luck. Let us know how you did.